Good afternoon. Sunday, early afternoon. So, day started off grand. Uh, Wife took the square body to the grocery store. Half an hour later, I get a phone call. Battery's dead. So it's the only wheels we have on the road right now. I pulled the Scamp off the road a couple weeks ago, or a week ago. So I called up my buddy. We go out there, boost it, get it going, bring it home. Battery's just pooched on it, I think. The battery that was in the Scamp, I know that's a good one. So I've got it charging, and I'll swap them over later. Of course, all this happens when it's 23 below zero. It's like a rule, right? If it gets to 20 below, then things will break. So froze our asses off. But anyway, it's home now, charging the other battery. I'm going to throw it in, get the truck going, because I want to go pick up a manifold and carburetor. The guy's going to let me know when he gets back home, and he just lives like a mile away. So nice close little run, and that'll be it until I get a full charge on that battery. So yeah, we're going to get back onto some other things on the truck. Sand out that firewall. Maybe I'll get on welding in the finish welding in the gas tank mounting setup I have, and get that all done and out of the way. And yeah, continue on with the body work. Maybe clean up the starter and get that together. Source out or set up, clean up a fuel pump. Yeah, a few other little things. So plenty to do as usual, so let's get to it. Okay, so I just got back. This is an Edelbrock Performer intake, okay, with a 600 carb Edelbrock, but it has the electric choke, and that's what I want. So that's a big deal. So what I'm going to do a little mix and match, because some of you, it wasn't the guy I got it off of, but at one point it was painted orange, and I hate that, especially on an aluminum intake. It's awful. So instead of spending a whole bunch of time cleaning that up, in the springtime, when I'm outside, I can blast it and get it back to normal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix and match. I'm going to take this carb and put it on the Y-end intake, and I'll keep this carb and the Performer for another engine, and yeah, so then I'm good to go. This one here, he said he had it running a couple weeks ago, ran great, had it all tuned up and everything. Still full of gas, but yeah, it's complete, looks good, everything seems to work as it should. So yeah, I'm going to pull this carb off, put it on that intake, and that's where we're going to run on the engine. So there we go. Okay, back to these manifolds real quick, just for a minute. Got a couple of comments on the last video about the holes that I wanted to fill. I guess a couple of guys thought that the holes went right through into the manifold, so you'd have an exhaust leak. Well, that's not the case. The hole just went partially into the casting. So filling these holes is strictly a cosmetic thing. It's got nothing to do with an exhaust leak or anything like that. So all I used was, I used this stuff here. You just slice off a little, like a quarter of an inch, and you knead it until the two colors blend. So you just, it's a two-part, almost like an epoxy kind of deal. So you mix it up, get it all together, and you can actually feel it getting warm in your hand. And you just stuff it in the hole, let it harden, and then I just used, I used a medium file and a fine one, and you end up with this. Where is it? There. I mean, you could barely see it. So it's paint ready, hard as rock, and good. And the paint we're using, or I'm using, I always say we. I don't know why. I'm doing this stuff by myself. There you go, VHT, very high temperature header paint. It doesn't last forever, but nothing on headers does really. Maybe ceramic coating, that's about it. But yeah, we'll get a shot of paint on it. It looks good when it's done, and it does last a while. So yeah, we're on that. And while I was doing this, also I finished up the firewall. It's all sanded, ready to go. prime and paint. So yeah, pretty happy. There was about 50 plus holes that I filled in that firewall. So, you know, there was a fair amount of stuff to clean up. I still have, I think it's nine holes down here to fill. I'm going to do that, and I got to clean up this little hack job here that I did, and finish that off, and then we're good to go in the front. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on, man. Okay, well, I wasn't feeling too ambitious, so I did dig out the starter, clean that up, give it a little lick of paint here just to clean her up. So the starter's ready to bolt on. I think it's a rebuilt one. It had a sticker on it, tag for remanufactured. So judging by the condition of the bolts and all that stuff, I think it's a rebuilt starter. So that's good news. What else? Oh yes, I also give a shot of paint to the manifolds. They look pretty good. So they're ready to bolt on. Before I do that though, I'm going to make up a mounting flange to carry on with my pipe. I'll just make a handmade job. There's one you can buy. It's got almost like a ball, like it's rounded. It's got this gummy shit there that sticks in there and seals it up. But I'll make up a flange and we'll use a gasket, and that should be fine. Also, my shocks arrived, front shocks. So a couple things with this. One thing is they're blue, and there's nothing on this truck that's blue underneath anyway. So I'm going to paint them before we put them in. And also, I only have the one bolt. This one was missing, so I'm going to have to get another bolt to match the other one. And yeah, we'll paint them red, get them on, and call it done. It's weird though. You know, these showed up at Erlanger, Kentucky on Friday. The rod ends were already there in Kentucky. The rod ends cleared customs on Saturday. These here cleared customs yesterday, and they were delivered this morning. The rod ends are still in Erlanger, Kentucky. Weird. Anyway, so like I said, I was going to tackle down here, get that trans tunnel done. So I pulled it out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sheet this all in, close it all in, make it all look smooth like the inside. So make it look like that on the outside. So I just got to sheet this in, and I made up all my pieces, used cardboard templates. You can see them scattered around, and made up all my pieces to fit. So yeah, numbered them all. So we got a case of play a game of weld by numbers. So yeah, I'm gonna burn that all in probably tomorrow, and once I get that all together, then I'm going to smooth out my my hack job here. I tacked it like a pack of angry beavers, and now I got to fix it. But whatever. So we'll clean it up, make it look smooth and nice, and yeah, we'll get on it and get it done tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna probably pack it in for tonight and get back after it tomorrow. Just feeling lazy. I don't know why. Okay, so my little weld by numbers setup worked out pretty good. It's all in there. I just got to finish cleaning it up and a few spots to weld here and there. But for the most part, yeah, that's what it's going to look like. Way better. So now I got to figure out, I was looking at this, figuring out how am I going to trace that onto the firewall from the outside. And then I realized, well, it's pretty simple, actually. This thing weighs quite a bit. So after looking at this real close, I realized that, I can slide it in from outside, and I'll just let it overlap the firewall and then mark it out. So that's what I did. So here we go. This is not easy to do with one hand. So there, slide her in, and you can see I've already marked it out with a white paint marker, one of these, basically white paint. So yeah, that's where it should go. So I'll cut that out, then that can slide in flush, and then all I'll have to do is fill in two little corners, and we're done. So not bad at all. So I'm going to go ahead, pull this out, finish welding and grinding on it, cut this out of the back piece, and then everything should fit in there and weld up quite nicely. And I think we're going to be good. So there. Check this out. Saturday, November 26th. And the big door is open. Gorgeous day. Unbelievable. First time ever. Never happened before. Anyway, so that's what she looks like. It's all closed in, welded in around, you know. So now I've just got two little sort of triangle pieces to fill in. And yeah, that's it. We'll call it done. Fill a few holes. But man, this was a ton more work than it needed to be. You know, I've been welding and grinding on this thing for, well, a day and a half. That's way too much time for a transmission tunnel. But anyway, if I was going to do it again, I'd do it a little bit differently. But this is the way I did it, and you know, the end result is pretty good. It looks good. So yeah, I'm just going to finish that up. But I'm going to step away from this for a little bit because you know, looking up like this and welding and grinding, I'm not going to be able to hold my neck straight for, you know, probably 3 days if I keep doing this. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break from it and move on to something else for a bit. And yeah, I'll show you what that's all about in a little bit. Okay, so starting to cool off. Close the door. This is the piece that goes over the rad support. Your hood latch, you know, latches in here. This whole mechanism here is seized up, but we can free it up. But you can see what happened here. It looks like somebody needed some clearance, so they cut here, and then just folded this whole piece back. And you can still see the kind of crease from where, you know, it's going to be L-shaped like this. So we want to bend this back, clean it up, and weld it back together the way it was stock, and clean up this whole piece. So yeah, I'm going to get on that right now. I think I'm just going to maybe use a couple of vice grip clamps or something and see if we can just bend that back into shape. So yeah, we'll try that. Okay, so let's see if we can get this sucker up here. Remember, the metal always wants to go back to it was stamped shape. Almost has a memory. But this one's getting old like me because it doesn't seem to remember. She's coming. Okay. It's something with more reach. Almost time to clean this joint up. I'm starting to not be able to find things again. Okay. That's better. There it goes. So, there. I think what we'll do is we'll weld this up here first and then finish bending over the top. So I'm going to clean that up, throw a couple quick welds on it, and we'll be back. Okay, so I welded it up to where it's bent back, and then I used these because now I could reach right up to the old line. Bent it all in and welded this up. Now I just got to weld in these. I'm gonna, clamp them together, weld up the joint, and then just take a hammer and dolly and straighten this edge out, get the wrinkles out of it, and we'll call it done. I priced this piece just for shits and giggles from I think it was LMC Truck. By the time you factor in the exchange on the dollar, the shipping and border fees and taxes and all that crap, this little piece here would be about 450 bucks to get it here. So this is going to take me a total of 2 hours to strip all the rust, the surface rust and everything, and yeah, well worth the effort, because 450 bucks is a lot of money for one little piece that's under the hood. And we're going to take the latch apart here. It's stuck right now, so soak it in oil and see if we can't free it up. I'm sure we will. And yeah, other than that, this piece is in really good shape. So like I said, it's just surface rust. So I'll finish that off, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so there you go. Some seemingly small jobs, little jobs, can drag on forever, like that stupid trans tunnel. And other little jobs are just that, little jobs, and get cleaned up in a hurry and knocked off. So, like I said, 450 bucks for that little piece. That's crazy. So, yeah, easy fix, no biggie, and minimal amount of body work. Just those dents and right where the welds are, and that's it. We'll smooth it right out, and eventually it'll be shiny paint. So all good there. I was going to put a video out Thursday, and then I remembered last year I put a video out on American Thanksgiving, and it was a disaster. People are busy, they're doing things, and my my viewers are 75% American, so you know, people are doing things, their family get-togethers and stuff like that. So I didn't bother, but happy Thanksgiving to my American friends, by the way. And yeah, I just you know, instead of busting my balls to get the video done and out on Thursday, I just took it easy and decided to put one out to Sunday, today, tomorrow now, but today when you see this. Are you confused? Because I am. Anyway, yeah, new subscribers again, thank you. Another good bunch, and I appreciate it. We hit 900 subscribers a couple days ago, so yeah, it's moving right along, and you know what's next? 1,000. So you know, keep up the good work, tell your buddies and your chums, and get the word out, and everything is going in the right direction. What else? I still haven't gotten those rod ends. They've been in town here, according to tracking, for 3 days now, and they still haven't been delivered. So I don't know what the hell's going on. But whatever. I need to get them. You know, they got to come in Monday, man. I need them. So I want to get on the steering, because I can't do my exhaust and all that other stuff until I have the steering in place. So yeah, and if you know, if you're not doing anything else, get out in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.